Good morning on April 6th, 2021. We are headed to my boy's first pilot class. He's 12. How do you feel?
Good. Happy.
Why are you happy?
Because I'm going to the airport.
Yeah. Anyway, he wants to be a pilot, so I thought since he's so young, maybe I should be a pilot too. That way he won't have to pay some guy by the hour every time that he wants to. Or maybe he could pay me. So our pilot is flying out of Medford, and we're actually going to beat him to the airport because everyone knows that cars are faster than airplanes.
We're closer to the airport than he is.
All right. So we thought while we were waiting, we would watch some plane crash videos, and we did. I don't know why. It didn't help. So here we are waiting for our pilot, and we're sure it's that dude. And he's landing. I was hoping our plane would be much bigger.
Probably a Cessna 172.
This is Chad.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Chad's gonna manage our progress. He wants to fly over our house.
Oh, we can make that work.
Oh, what if they go outside and wave?
You just gotta show me where it's at. We'll take you over there.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's awesome.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk out to the aircraft and we're gonna do just a throw a pre-flight. It's just like if you were gonna go in your car and, for instance, you drive down the road and you notice you have a flat tire while driving, well, you can just pull over the side of the road. On an aircraft, you don't have that option. So we're gonna go through a full inspection of the aircraft to make sure it's mechanically good, fine to fly. And then, yeah, we'll jump in and go.
It's like a CDL pre-trip on a big truck.
Yep.
Do you like it?
The girls at the Medford Airport call the plane Ducky.
This is Ducky. Oh yeah, I see that.
It does have, we call it wheel pants. It looks like a teardrop that goes over the wheels.
Right.
Helps reduce drag. They're painted orange, so it looks like duck feet.
But you took them off.
Yeah, well, you got student pilots learning how to land. Those wheel pants don't last very long.
How much does this plane weigh?
It all depends on how much fuel is on board.
Right.
How much does he weigh?
It's 135.
And August, how much do you weigh?
160.
All right, so we're gonna fly with, let's say, 20 gallons of fuel. So we're gonna take off at 2,068 pounds.
I didn't think it was that heavy.
Yep. When you think about a fully loaded 747, the big jumbo jet, those are 1,000,000 pounds loaded.
Wow.
In. Yeah, that thing can fly somehow.
Huh.
Yeah. Pretty spectacular.
Fuel sample?
We're taking a sample of the fuel. There's a fuel tank right here above this wing, and there's also a fuel tank on the left side. So we're checking a couple things. The first one is we want to make sure we have the right kind of fuel on board. So this airplane takes 100 octane low lead, and it's that nice light blue color to it. I want to make sure it's the right kind of fuel. If it was like a yellow color or a clear color, that tells me I'll probably have Jet A, because we have jet fuel as well as 100 low lead right here available to us. So we want to make sure they didn't put the wrong fuel in there. If it was jet fuel in there, we won't be able to, the plane won't fly. We're also checking for water. If we had water in the tank, you would get separation in the fuel.
Yeah.
Because water doesn't mix with fuel, so we're making sure we don't have water. Being in the Pacific Northwest, we get a lot of rain here. The caps for the fuel tanks are on top of the wing. So if the cap got left off, that's where you can get water in. But also with the fuel, there's a chance that you can get water, contaminated with the fuel that comes from the pump.
Right.
So we're checking that now. So water always is heavier than fuel, so water sits below. So that's why we would get water out of the sample first if there was any present. All right.
Do you pour it back in the tank?
Yep. If it was contaminated, I would not. I would just take it straight to maintenance.
Yeah.
This right here is just a dipstick that tells us how many gallons we have of fuel on board. You see the little index lines right here. So all I'll do is put the stick in there, put my finger on top, pull it out, and it says we have right at 10 gallons of fuel in this tank alone.
Okay. How much fuel does it take to fly to Medford?
I think I burned just over 2 gallons to get here.
Uh-huh.
Typically this plane burns between 9 and 10 gallons per hour, flight hour.
That seems kind of good. Checking fuel at a different spot.
So this is this engine's carbureted, and the carburetor is actually on the bottom of the engine. So we're checking the fuel there as well. You think about when I said water is heavier than fuel. Well, this is the bottommost point of the fuel system, so there was a possibility of water, it would be here. So we got just over 6 quarts of oil, we're good. You'll find on early lessons, it'll probably take us about an hour to do pre-flight.
Okay.
We have a checklist that'll have you go through just one item at a time. And it's extremely thorough to make sure you know what it is we're looking for and what is good and what's bad.
Yeah, I like it.
So these engines are air-cooled. They don't really rely on antifreeze or radiators. So these air inlets right here is where the air comes in. You see all these fins right here on the engine. That's what helps dissipate the heat. So we want to make sure these inlets are clear. If you see down here, you see some planes parked down on the end of the hangars. Well, back in the hangars, there's lots of planes that have been sitting there for months or years. So you think about it, there could be a critter made himself a nice nest in here. I like to find that out now, then get up in the air and have a possible overheat issue. All right. Your belt's good. This is our propeller. We're going to check the leading edge of it. So the propeller goes this direction, so this edge cuts through the air. So we want to make sure the leading edge is clear. There's no nicks or dings in it. Spinner is secure.
Is it aluminum?
The prop, it's like aluminum alloy. I think there's some different kinds of metal in there. That's good. This is our air filter for the engine. They have it out open like this so we can visibly inspect it before we take off. If we were to say use this at like a grass runway that's not paved, you can get this filled with debris. So we want to make sure that's clear, but before takeoff. Of course, clear. Air vents. These right here are air vents. So once we get in the plane, you'll see that there's an air vent up front here, but there's also air vents for the back. So I'm making sure it's clear right now. If I had like a wasp nest in here, I like to find that out now until I start rolling, get down the runway, and then the bees are gonna go inside and play with you. So that's clear. Pitot tube is clear. Fuel vent is clear. This right here is a stall horn vent. So we have an audible horn inside the plane that tells you in the event you're gonna possibly stall the airplane. Stall means you're gonna lose lift. And so if you're familiar like how a whistle works, like with like a coach's whistle or maybe a referee for a sports game, when you blow on it, you get that whistle. Well, on top of that whistle, it has a port looks just like that. If you were to take that whistle and suck on it, you get the same sound. So this is what this does. If we get in a stall situation that causes a low pressure or causes a vacuum here on the front of the wing, and we'll get that horn inside the plane. 100-year-old technology right there. So it's close to the freeway?
Yeah, like right
Kinda,
in
yeah.
that area.
Okay. All right, good to know. We'll make that work. I'm gonna look around the area, so we're clear on the left. There's no obstructions, no people. We're clear up front, we're clear on the right. I'll have you yell at the window, clear prop.
Clear.
Okay, we're back on the ground, and we have our next thing to do, I guess, is complete some sort of ground training course, some online knowledge stuff, and then he recommended that I see if I can pass the physical, because I was telling him about my red-green color stuff. It's unclear yet whether I would pass, so I'm not sure I would want my license or to pursue it if I wouldn't be able to get a medical certificate for being able to perceive red and green. But he can. We're gonna find out. We'll document the journey. How do you feel? Good?
Good.
All right. Are you glad you did it?
Yes.